Modern society, this world of sin, will have you believing that you don't have to pray, that you don't have to read your Bible, that you don't have to tithe, that you could go to the club on Saturdays and then go to church on Sundays, which is backwards, by the way, because Saturday is the day of worshiping the Most High, not on Sundays. And you're thinking you can follow whatever, just any way the wind blows. You're thinking you can follow whatever the world is doing, all their demonic, evil, dark, satanic pride days, and still call yourself a Christian or a child of God. But the devil is a lie. Here's what people be out here saying: God knows my heart. Only God can judge me. I love God. That's what they be saying while they're at the club on Saturday, the Lord's Day, because you know they start early because traffic or whatever. You know they're not in the house all day on Saturday. No, their clubbing mindset starts when they first wake up. Okay, a lot of people, they be pre-gaming. That means you're drinking before you even get to the club. So a lot of people, they start off getting ready for the club, that whole mindset. They talking to their friends. Okay, I'm gonna meet you at the club, this, that. And before they even get there, they were drinking or whatever, smoking and doing all that stuff before they even get in the car and head out to the club. So they be pre-gaming on the Sabbath. This is on the Sabbath that they be doing this, on the Lord's Day. Early in the day, they be getting ready. And then they drive, it's drive time. So at least an hour for most places, at least an hour to either drive there or an hour drive time. And then you also have time when you're waiting in line to get into the club. So you got all this going on that you're doing on the Lord's Day. God knows my heart and only God can judge me. And I love God. So you at the club on Saturday and then Sunday, which most people go to church on Sunday because that's society, even though it's wrong. But most people slide into church on Sunday and they think they're getting right with God on Sunday after they just did all that hellish stuff the day before. And then they slide in. A lot of people still wearing their clubbing clothes. Ask me how I know. A lot of people still be wearing their clubbing clothes when they slide into church. And I grew up in church. I've been in church my whole life. I've seen everything and I've lived some of it. Okay. So I know what I'm talking about. So you slide into church after you've been in the club, and then you still fix your mouth to say you're a Christian and a child of God. And that's what a lot of people do. And that's why we are living in Sodom and Gomorrah right now. That's why these times that we're living in right now is called Sodom and Gomorrah. We are living in a Babylonian society that is run by the agenda of Sodom and Gomorrah. And exactly what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah is about to happen to this world. God is going to destroy it the same way with fire and brimstone. He's going to destroy it the same way he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, so those pride days are about to go up in flames, literal fire flames. Okay, so a lot of people think they could just ignore everything that God told them to do, everything, and still call themselves a child of God. That don't make sense. It really don't make sense. It's like, imagine, I'm a mother. So imagine you're a parent and you give your child, let's say you give your child 10 rules, because most people think that there's 10 commandments. There's way more than 10, but let's just say there's 10. Let's say you give your child 10 rules and your child is supposed to obey these rules. And if they obey them, that is a person that's acting like your child, right? So let's say you have 2 children. And this happened in the Bible, by the way. There was a righteous son and an unrighteous son, a righteous son and an evil son. So God gave his laws to everyone. So one son did all 10 of the rules, all 10 of the rules that were laid out. The son did all 10 of those, all 10 of the rules. And so got them all perfectly. Yep. Did this, did this, did this, did this, did this, all the rules, knocked it out of the park. Got it. Then the other son, you told your other son the rules. He knew the rules too. He was slow about doing what you told him to do. He acted like he didn't hear what you said. He pretended not to hear some of them. He halfway did one of the things you told him to do. Way after you told him to do it. Let's say he did it 20 years later. Like it looked like he was never going to obey it. Okay. So then it comes time for you to reward your children. Which one of your children is getting a reward? You won't even have to think hard on this one. Which one of your children are you about to reward? The one who listened to you and obeyed you, or the child that pretended like they didn't even hear you? And when people ask you about your children, which one are you going to talk about the most? Which one are you going to brag to your friends and family about the most? The one that listened to you, the one who obeyed you? Because here's what God did. For a period of time, he was calling all of Israel, all of his melanated people, he was calling us his children. But what happened is, over a period of time, we stopped obeying him. And so he stopped calling us his children. That's what happened. So a child obeys their parent. That's how you know that's your child. That's how you know. I'm a mother and I have a son, and I'll be out at the store somewhere with my son, and my son, his skin is way lighter than mine. He actually, if you don't know that he's my child, you would think that he's not my child, because that's how different our skin is. His skin is real light, and my skin is this complexion. And next to each other, it's a big contrast. But the way that people know that he's my son is by the way that he obeys me. And his obedience towards me astonishes people. Actually, people are jealous of it. I have my enemies that are all around me, the other heathen nations, are jealous when they see how well and how quickly and how completely my son obeys me. It drives them crazy. It drives my enemies crazy how well I'm loved through my son, because he loves me through his obedience. He keeps the commandments because he trusts me as his mother, and I tell him these are the commandments and we're going to keep these, and he keeps them and he obeys them because he trusts me as his parent to lead him and guide him. That's being a child of God. That's following God. And my obedience comes from me serving the Lord. My obedience goes towards the Lord. And because I serve God and I'm obedient to him, now I have a child who I can teach the ways of God and have my child obey me. That's how it's supposed to work. First Lady Sarah Abraham.
Our Father,
who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
On earth.
On earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Okay, we'll say the whole thing one more time. Our Father.
Our Father.
Who art in heaven.
Who art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
On earth as it is in heaven.
On earth as it is in heaven.